The good news is no one needs a prescription, as there are an abundance of bioactive compounds in nature that act as immune checkpoint inhibitors to disrupt cancer growth and boost cancer immunity. Hi friends, your immune system is the best solution to prevent and cure cancer. And that's why some people with once hopeless cancers have survived way beyond what their doctors expected. This treatment is called immunotherapy, which leverages your body's own immune system to recognize and destroy cancer cells. Pharmacological immunotherapy can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and only given to people who have a cancer diagnosis, even though all of us have cancer. That's right, you and I have thousands of mutated and damaged cells that, if left unchecked, can grow and spread like cancer. On top of that, only about 20 to 30% of people who are given monotherapy for immunomodulators, such as immune checkpoint inhibitors, actually respond to the therapy. And furthermore, patients who initially respond can become resistant to these immune checkpoint inhibitors. But we do know that your immunity contains the only cells that keep these sporadic mutated cancer cells in check. When cancer cells don't evade the immune system, they can't grow and spread. They are only a problem when your immune system is weak, which can happen at any age. So here are the 10 most frequent cancers in the United States. And here's a list of the 16 most common cancers you can get if you smoke cigarettes. Notice how there is a huge overlap. When you inhale smoke from cigarettes, cooking fumes, candles, air fresheners, barbecue grills, or urban fires, you are modulating your immune system. You're actually turning them off while you're simultaneously mutating your cells. That's one efficient way to nurture and grow cancer cells. Smokers have a direct source of air pollution throughout the day, depending on how many cigarettes they want to smoke. And it turns out, if you expose yourself to these pollutants in the air or in your food, you actually deplete your body's essential vitamins and antioxidants like vitamin C and folate at a much faster rate, so you actually need to eat more to keep your immune system healthy. Everything you do is either a positive or negative input as immunotherapy. The immune system doesn't just have a switch that you can turn on and off, but rather your immunity relies on various factors to stay resilient and effective. So every time you eat anything, you are giving yourself immunotherapy. And some of your food turns your immune system on, and sometimes it turns it off. Actually, you need the right balance of both to stay healthy. The human immune system is designed to detect and eliminate foreign materials, including germs and toxins and abnormal cells like cancer cells. However, cancers have developed sophisticated methods to evade immune detection. They actually exploit your immune cell's natural checkpoints designed to prevent your immune system from taking over and destroying normal tissue. Heard of autoimmunity? Have you ever had an itching rash from a lotion or soap? How about a fever blister? Or maybe an ulcer in your mouth? Or a swollen joint? And you couldn't figure out why these things happen. Well, that's your immune system attacking yourself. If something triggered your immune system to do that, and you can remove that something, then your immune system likely will calm itself down to allow your body to heal. So it's just as important to turn off as it is to turn on your immune system at the right times to be healthy. Have you ever been stopped at a checkpoint? In California, we have multiple border checkpoints between states because we have a huge agricultural economy. So you can't bring live plants or fresh fruits internationally or from other states because sometimes these fruits comes with pests. Now, border security will stop your car and talk to you and see what you have in your car. But I'm sure if you have the right government ID, they can just scan it and let you pass. Your cells also talk to each other, like border security, through proteins. You have proteins that are stuck to the outside of your immune cells. They are called receptors. And non-immune cells, even cancer cells, can make proteins that bind to the receptors to identify themselves. If you were a cancer cell, would you identify yourself or would you use a fake ID? In the 1990s, a Japanese immunologist discovered the programmed death 1 receptor on many human immune cells, like T cells, natural killer cells, B cells, macrophages, and dendritic cells. Activation of the PD1 receptor puts a brake on immune activation, which is actually needed to prevent your immune system from destroying normal cells. And when it doesn't work right, that is autoimmunity, where the immune system attacks self. Conditions like lupus, eczema, psoriasis, inflammatory bowel disease, these are all examples of the immune system attacking self. The system is like a car. You have a gas pedal and a brake pedal. The brake pedal prevents the car from going out of control and crashing. Likewise, when your PD-L1 receptor is activated, it puts a brake on your immune system. And here lies the problem. When a protein activates this receptor, that cell is identifying itself as normal. So when a cancer cell does that, they're getting a border pass for free because it puts a brake on your immune system. And that is how cancer cells evade your immune system and hoard in areas where they don't belong, and then they also multiply and thrive. You remember how Harry Potter had an invisibility cloak? Every time you put that on, he was invisible to everyone, including Lord Voldemort. That's what happens to cancer cells when they make ligands or proteins that bind to PD-L1 receptors. This is how cancer evades your immune system. One of the most significant breakthroughs in cancer treatment was the development of immune checkpoint inhibitors, particularly those targeting programmed death ligand 1 and its receptors. Programmed death 1. These therapies have significantly improved survivals in various cancers, inhibiting PD1, PD-L1 interaction to restore T cell function, and it also allows the immune system to recognize and destroy cancer cells. Currently, we have a number of prescription drugs that modulate immune checkpoint proteins to boost anti-cancer immune responses and successfully treat metastatic melanoma, renal cell carcinoma, head and neck cancers, and non-small cell lung cancers. These checkpoint inhibitors, like pembrolizumab for melanoma and lung cancers, they cost $150,000 a year per patient. I find it fascinating that in the United States, we consistently pay more for the same drug compared to Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia. But the reality is, many patients around the world, this is still cost prohibitive. However, many cancers like melanoma, they start over a decade before it goes noticed. And that's why for me, I want to get immune checkpoint inhibitors to boost my immune system yesterday, to take out every single cancer cell way before they grow big enough to go notice. But there isn't any prescription preventive immune checkpoint inhibitors. The good news is no one needs a prescription, as there are an abundance of bioactive compounds in nature that act as immune checkpoint inhibitors to disrupt cancer growth and boost cancer immunity. But you have to eat enough of the right ones and avoid the toxins at the same time. Now remember, this isn't medical advice. Science is just beginning to recognize that bioactive compounds in nature eaten in your diet can significantly change your health, and it can also change your response to chemotherapy. So if you're not adjusting your diet, whether or not you have cancer, you're missing out on one of the most powerful tools to boost your immunity. And guess what? What you eat or don't eat can significantly affect your response to those immune checkpoint inhibitors. You know why? It's because of your gut microbiome. And so I'm going to let you think about that thought just for a little bit. We'll come back to it a little later. Remember how I said that your immune cells are the only cells for you to keep cancer cells in check? Well, that's still true, except that your immune system outsourced part of its job to non-human cells to do a lot of its work. That is your gut microbiome. You have as many microbes in your gut as you do your own cells. However, they have 10 times more genetic material than do your own cells. If you're not nurturing your gut microbiome, you're missing out on the most powerful equipment to boost your immune system and to keep you healthy. The foods that you eat or don't eat can change your microbes within minutes of eating. This is because microbes, like bacteria, can reproduce every 15 minutes, faster than rabbits. And it is true, rabbits multiply and multiply. As a kid, my brother's friend gave him 2 rabbits. Unfortunately, our dog got to one of them and only the female survived. Well, that female had bunnies. And so my dad built a pen in the backyard for her family. And they freely roamed and dug burrows. And apparently, they kept having more bunnies. So every few days, I would go out and it seemed like there were more bunnies. And ultimately, after a few minutes, we literally had 50 bunnies. Your gut microbes actually determine determine how well you respond to immunotherapy, including immune checkpoint therapies. Antibiotics are known to inhibit the action of immune checkpoint inhibitors in patients with advanced cancers. You know why? That's because antibiotics, they change your gut microbes. They actually kill the good ones, the ones that are actually beneficial to your health. The right microbes increase your responsiveness to immune therapy. Your microbes provide several critical functions for your health and immunity. It helps you metabolize your nutrients, especially when it comes to carbohydrates. It produces the precursors for neurotransmitters that support your dopamine, epinephrine, GABA, and serotonin. They help maintain the structural integrity of your gut mucosal barrier. They also promote peristalsis to help you expel toxins. Basically, that helps you poop. They protect you against pathogenic bacteria, and they are crucial for immune modulation.
Hi, friends. I am so thrilled that you want to take charge of your health and take charge of your food. Now, I know nutrition can be complex, but it doesn't have to be. And I'm here to support you in this lifelong journey. So if you point your camera app to this QR code, it'll take you to a link for a free handout that I created just for you. And if you like it, if you want to see other handouts, please go to the link in my show notes, and then you can leave me your feedback on what I could do to help you in your journey. Okay, back to the video now.
So if you're wondering how you can talk to your immune system, well, it's basically through your food. Your food talks to your gut microbes, which then talks to your immune system. Have you heard that fiber is your friend? Fiber is a prebiotic for your gut, but it's not just any fiber. Eating the right fiber, soluble fibers, that actually feeds your gut microbiome. And your gut microbes, they turn that into short-chain fatty acids like butyrate to then talk to your gut cells to promote peristalsis or movement to move your poop through the pipe. Pooping is a way to eliminate toxins and carcinogens, not only from the foods that you eat, like pesticides and heavy metals or excess iron, but also from the toxins that your own body makes. Your body makes a number of toxins, including estrogen. And the way you get rid of estrogen is to poop it out. People who don't poop have higher estrogen levels to abnormally stimulate the growth of estrogen-responsive cancers like breast cancer. In addition, your body also makes ammonia as a byproduct of protein metabolism. Ammonia is the same stuff that you use to clean your windows. Have you ever accidentally inhaled when you were spraying? That stuff is toxic. It's toxic to your body and your brain. And the most effective way to get rid of ammonia is to poop. Usually your liver can detoxify the ammonia so that it can be excreted in your urine. But that means you have to eat the right amount. So if you're eating excess amount of nitrogen from basically eating protein, you are challenging your liver and its ability to help you detoxify carcinogens, including ammonia. Why not help your liver out and make sure you poop every day? In fact, poop multiple times a day. And that won't happen unless you have short-chain fatty acid. Butyrate also talks to your immune system that are surrounding your gut, specifically T regulatory cells. It actually makes more of that, and it also reduces inflammation by reducing a cytokine called interferon gamma. So by eating the right fermentable fibers, you actually increase the numbers of your immune cells. Fermentable dietary fiber also reduces your fecal pH, so it makes your poop less acidic. And by changing the pH, you actually reduce the number of carcinogenic compounds from bile metabolism by intestinal bacteria. However, nature has created an abundant amount of immune modulators. Heard of polyphenols? They are plant phytochemicals that are found in fruits and vegetables and flowers. They are why plants are colorful. Anthocyanins is a phytochemical found in blueberries, and they can help modulate your immune system through your gut microbiome. They also have synergistic effects with anti-PD1 antibodies. How about epigalactocatechin gallate found in green tea? It actually reduces the expression of PD-L1. What about hesperidine found in citrus foods? They work similarly. Now, quercetin is also found abundantly in fruits and vegetables. They can also do the same thing. And if you like turmeric, well, that has curcumin, which has similar effects and in addition works synergistically with anti-PD-L1 antibodies. Do you like grapes? Resveratrol found in the skin and the seed of red grapes also is a potent immune modulator, affecting the expression of PD-L1, and it synergistically affects anti-PD1 antibody to enhance immunogenic cell death, apoptosis, and it increases dendritic cells and cytotoxic T cells. But when you eat plants, you don't just eat one immune modulator. You're eating thousands of them at the same time. Anthocyanins is one type of flavonoids that you can find in your purple-red berries, your red grapes, your red onions. They have strong antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, anti-aging, anti-obesity, and anti-cancer functions. No prescription immune modulator will ever do that for people. When you eat anthocyanins, you actually decrease the expression of both PD1 and PD-L1, and this stimulates your immune system to respond. By doing so, you're suppressing the progression of cancer cells. In addition, when you eat anthocyanins, you actually diversify the microbes in your gut, which further help you modulate and regulate your immune system. Have you heard of Cyanidin 3-O-glucoside? That's another anthocyanin found in black raspberries, black rice, blackberries, blueberries, chokeberries, elderberries, purple corn, black mulberries. This is another anti-cancer anthocyanin that helps to inhibit tumor angiogenesis, and it increases cancer cell apoptosis and enhances your immune response. By eating foods rich in Cyanidin 3-O-glucoside, you will reduce oxidative stress to lower DNA damage, and this suppresses chronic inflammation, a key driver to immune dysregulation. In addition, you will improve your insulin sensitivity, it'll help you lower your blood sugars, it actually reduces fat accumulation, and it lowers cholesterol to reduce your risk of obesity and metabolic syndrome. Now, I know people want to take a supplement, but supplements don't work because it has poor gut stability, which means it's quickly broken down into metabolites, and the body rapidly eliminates it in your urine. To get the greatest benefit, you should eat it with some nuts to enhance its absorption. And you want to keep it in whole foods because it comes with vitamin C to help stabilize it. Vitamin C is an excellent antioxidant, which helps other antioxidants be more stable. When you eat whole plant foods, you also get protective fiber that protects polyphenols to enhance its absorption compared to taking a supplement. Now, this specific molecule has an essential role in your intestinal health to prevent intestinal injury, which can be the nidus of cancer growth. Cyanidin 3-O-glucoside is also a stimulator of nuclear factor NRF2. It's also known as erythroid-derived 2. NRF2 is a key transcription factor that regulates cellular defense mechanisms. And when you activate it, it boosts antioxidant and detoxification enzymes, protecting the gut from oxidative damage and inflammation. NRF2 activates detoxification enzymes like glutathione as transferase to help neutralize toxins that are in your intestines. It also upregulates tight junction proteins, reducing intestinal permeability to prevent that leaky gut. It suppresses gut inflammation by inhibiting pro-inflammatory cytokines. It enhances mitochondrial function to improve gut cell energy production and repair. NRF2 directly increases glutathione production by activating genes responsible for its synthesis. Cyanidin 3-O-glucoside indirectly boosts glutathione levels by activating NRF2 and reducing oxidative damage. Glutathione is the body's most powerful antioxidant, critical for intestinal health. It helps to neutralize free radicals. It prevents oxidative stress that both induce gut damage. Glutathione detoxifies harmful compounds to remove toxins, heavy metals, carcinogens from your intestine. It supports your gut barrier integrity by preventing leaky gut and protect your tight junctions. It regulates your immune response to prevent an overactive inflammation that can cause conditions like Crohn's and colitis. It also aids in your gut microbiome balance to maintain an optimal microbial environment by reducing oxidative stress. There are abundance of other NRF2 stimulators, such as sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is a potent isothiocyanate found in cruciferous vegetables. It is one of the most powerful NRF2 activators, boosting the body's antioxidant detoxification and anti-inflammatory defenses. Sulforaphane actually binds to KEAP1, a protein that normally inhibits NRF2. So this allows NRF2 to enter the cell nucleus, where it turns on over 200 protective genes. These genes increase antioxidants like glutathione and superoxide dismutase, and detoxification enzymes like glutathione as transferase. So when you eat sulforaphane-rich foods, you increase glutathione synthesis, protecting your cells from oxidative damage. This then reduces inflammation and supports a healthy intestine, brain, and liver. Now remember how I said that your liver is responsible to help you detox? Well, you can help it out by eating sulforaphane-rich foods. Sulforaphane enhances phase 2 liver detoxification enzymes. That helps you remove toxins, heavy metals, and carcinogens, as well as estrogen and other pollutants. A lot of them are found in processed food. In addition, it induces apoptosis or cell death in cancer cells, while it protects normal cells. And I mentioned angiogenesis. Well, it also inhibits angiogenesis, so it prevents tumors from supplying its own blood supply. So this will stop tumor villages from getting nutrients. And that's why I eat sulforaphane-rich foods every day. Diets high in sulforaphane can help you protect against colorectal, breast, prostate, and lung cancers. And of course, it's going to strengthen your gut barrier, preventing leaky gut. Your largest nerve that's outside of your brain innervates your gut. That's a vagus nerve. So when you eat foods that reduce neural inflammation, you're actually helping yourself protect against Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. So where do you find sulforaphane? Well, broccoli sprouts, they have the highest source of sulforaphane, up to 100 times more than the mature broccoli. You can eat the mature broccoli, that's also tasty too. And it is a well-known source of sulforaphane, especially if you eat it raw. I personally like kale. It is also high in sulforaphanes. If you like little round things, Brussels sprouts are great. It actually is higher than broccoli. How about cauliflower? That's a great source that is also higher than broccoli. My dog likes cabbage, especially red cabbage. The red and purple varieties have higher sulforaphane amounts. My kids, they love arugula, and that is a unique source among leafy vegetables. Now, mustard greens are also higher in glucoraphanin, which is a sulforaphane precursor. What about watercress? That is a mixture of isothionates, including sulforaphane. And don't forget radishes. They have a lower level of sulforaphanes, but they are still a rich source of sulforaphane compared to many other vegetables and roots. To maximize sulforaphanes in your foods, you can sprout your seeds. For example, broccoli sprouts, I had mentioned, have 100 times more sulforaphane than the mature broccoli. You can consume your vegetables raw. You want to minimize cooking because that can destroy the myrosinase, which converts glucoraphanin in the vegetables into sulforaphane. And it's best to pre-chop, let it sit before you cook your vegetables. Now, when you cut broccoli or other cruciferous vegetables, you need to wait at least 30 minutes and up to 90 minutes before you cook it to increase its sulforaphane production. But if you're in a hurry, just add a pinch of mustard seed powder, which has myrosinase, so that can convert the glucoraphanin into sulforaphane. But you want to do this after you cook it because heat kills myrosinase. And then you can't convert the glucoraphanin into sulforaphanes. It's also better to find vegetables grown in nutrient-rich soils. Sulforaphane depends on sulfur availability. And if the soil is sulfur depleted, then the plant will be depleted of sulforaphanes. Heat, whether you're boiling, microwaving, or overcooking, even if you oversteam it, can significantly reduce your myrosinate levels and therefore reduce sulforaphane amounts. Probably should keep steaming for less than 3 minutes. Now, freshly harvested vegetables have a higher sulforaphane content than older ones that have been stored. And of course, you will have to make sure that the soil is rich in sulfur. Now, if you've never sprouted, you may be missing out on a super hack that you can do so cheaply and easily. You basically need a mason jar and buy some seeds online. And you can buy a variety of different cruciferous vegetable seeds. Now, when I sprout my own seeds, I actually try to sterilize it because the seeds is when it gets contaminated to contribute to food poisoning. So this is why I avoid alfalfa seeds. So the first thing they want to do is to rinse your seeds with running water. And I rinse it a few times. And then my last rinse is when pre-boiled, cooled down water. Then I try to shake most of that off and I soak it for a few minutes in vinegar. Now, vinegar can kill a lot of microbes. If you do it too long, then you may actually kill the seed and then it won't spore. So after just soaking for a few minutes, you can rinse it again with that pre-boiled cooled water. I usually do it for a couple times. And then my last rinse, I actually leave it there and I soak it for a day. So the next day I'll pour that water out and pour in some new pre-boiled cooled water and spread the seed around the mason jar. So every day I will rinse my water at least twice a day, depending on the humidity in the room. You don't want your seeds to dry out. And after a few days, when it begins to sprout, I leave it near a window that gets UV light, but in the shade. I don't normally put it directly in sunlight. And you'll notice that within a few days, you'll have a jar full of green sprouts. And this has saved me a tremendous amount of money. I used to spend $5 for a little package of sprouts, and I would go through at least 3 or 4 in a week. Whereas you could buy a whole bag of seeds for less than $20 and probably get like 30 servings of sprouts. And when you eat sprouts, they have a ton of beneficial compounds. If you want to learn more about them, watch the next video.